college with full cooperation and commitment. I thank all of them for all their efforts they are putting in this pandemic period. We are equally functioning both in the academic as well as in the social sector, achieving and creating accolades in both these sectors. Welcome you all to this webinar once again. Dear students, we couldn't see face to face, but we are one with the MACFAST family. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, dear sir. We welcome you too to this webinar. Now I invite our dear principal, Father Dr. Charian J. Kautil, for the presidential address.
A very good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am audible.
You're audible, Father.
I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, sure, you're audible.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. No?
You're audible, Father.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Can hear you, Father.
Hello.
We can hear, Father. We can hear. We can hear.
Okay. Dear MACFAST, a very hearty welcome to everyone this online platform. First of all, I appreciate each and everyone who makes their full time effort to keep the quality of academic excellence in MACFAST College. And then, first of all, let me appreciate the IQAC team for organizing such a webinar for the whole department and for our students now, because I mean, in the quality assurance in higher education institutions, I really thank and appreciate Dr. Sukumaran Nair sir, who is the Chief Coordinator of IQAC Department, Professor Varghese Abraham, and Mr. Ajay Kurian, and those who are working, especially the teaching and non-teaching staffs who are working hard for keeping this academic excellence. And then, as we know, as our administrator says, now we are going to approach the second cycle of IQAC. And it has been a challenge for us to face that challenge and face to the second cycle. And I hope we will make it. And then I want to put this message to all those who are working in this college. I mean, especially who are teaching and non-teaching staff, and our students and their parents. Okay. Of course, the excellence is actually the result of teamwork. It doesn't matter. I mean, to have a certificate, of course, where we want, we could get certificates. A degree certificate is, if a degree certificate is needed, of course, we could get it from anywhere. Especially, nowadays, of course, we could learn and certificate from online, no problem. But for having a certificate from a graded college, okay, or accredited college, or accredited university, that's a different thing. So, NAC accreditation is actually our pride, isn't it? So let us keep that status for the next generation also. And having this academic excellence, I wish to request all of you to come together, stay together, and find the excellence and work together for the excellence. As our tagline, MACFAST says, united to. Okay, so this is the right time to cover the same platform, the one single platform, and then let us join hands and brains and hearts, and then work together for having our academy, having our attain the academic excellence, thereby having a second, the A+, the second, of course. And as I mentioned, it is not easy to have a certification from an accredited college or university. Of course, it is because of the hard work of many people, of the many, the hard work of many people who associated MACFAST last few years. So let us keep that status. And of course, we cannot expect academic excellence from certain kinds of extravagance or mansion-like building or some other infrastructures. It is out of our research and innovation. So academic excellence we could expect from our own research and innovation. Innovation doesn't matter, doesn't mean imitation, okay? And then, of course, let us come together and work for a fruitful teamwork and achieve our ultimate task. And then let us approach the second side of accreditation as we wish. And for this, we are working as a team. Sukumaran Nair sir is actually the coordinator of the chief coordinator of the our IQAC department, and Mr. Ajay Kurian is working for this purpose, and all our teaching staff. I appreciate everyone for making a wonderful job with regard to these the process of accreditation. And of course, now I request all of our students, those who work here, those who are studying here, to come together in a single platform in the IQS department, and then let us work together for achieving this academic excellence. And for the management of management, it has opened all the doors for having this excellence, and then and we need support and contributions of each and every students and their parents. So I expect it. So for that reason, we are coming together now, and then we are discussing a lot of things. Not only right now, we are just beginning this this discussion today, and then we will continue with. Okay, for this expert and educationist, Professor Dr. Sukumaran Nair sir will be guiding us all the time. So he has been continuously working for that. And then, dear students, in order to take up this challenge, Sukumaran Nair sir is actually encouraging us and guiding us and showing the right way for us. So let's come together and then let us heed and what he says, and let us all work together for achieving this purpose and the end. I wish you good luck, all the best. Thank you each everyone. Stay safe. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Father. The concept of quality is very broad and can be defined in various ways. Quality assurance involves the systematic review of educational provision to maintain and improve its quality, equity, and efficiency. While considering an institution, both faculty members and students have equal responsibility to maintain the quality standards. You may be wondering how and why. Today we have with us Dr. K.R. Sukumaran Nair, our NAC coordinator and principal of NSS College Kone, to provide insights on quality assurance. On behalf of the whole MACFAST family, I welcome Sukumaran Nair sir for the session.
Very respected father, my friends Verghese Abraham, and all my beloved faculty members there. So first of all, I would be thankful to all of you for the good words you have given not only towards me. And good afternoon, everybody. So shall we start with the quality assurance in higher education institutions? What about the parameters we have to observe? And what the way in which we have to go for the second cycle of accreditations? So I feel that the participants of this webinar includes the faculty members as well as the students. So really I feel that the majority of the participants are the students, and the faculty members are well aware of the process as well as the methodology of carrying out the accreditation process. They have already witnessed at the first cycle of accreditation itself. So my presentation will always be linked to the perspectives of the students. I think so it would be better. Am I right, Father? Okay, so shall we start with our presentations regarding the quality assurance in higher education institutions, especially with respect to the MACFAST. So I start with these presentations with the first sentence given in the introductory part of the National Education Policy 2020. The National Education Policy 2020 has visualized the education scenario, and the introductory parts, they have used the word that universal high quality education is the best way for developing and maximizing our country's rich talents and resources. So really we know that the rich talents and the resources, really they are the students. So how the ambience, I mean the academic culture of the MACFAST, be able to tap the rich talents and resources of the students there, and how the talents can be geared for getting a very good accreditation status at the time of the second stage of accreditations. But so whenever we are dealing with the term quality, so of course we feel that quality cannot be said to be, what do you mean by quality? So we can't say that quality is this or it is that one. And with me, I am very happy to say that the IQAC coordinator of this college, Professor Smitaji Kurp, is also with me. So whenever I am expressing the terms quality, there may be different opinion regarding our Professor Smita. This may be some other sir. So similarly, in the faculty members of the MACFAST also, we may have the perceptions, what may be the quality. But in this context of accreditation, I would like to take into account the wordings given by Sir John Ruskin. This quality is never an accident. In a fine morning, we won't say that the sun rises giving all the quality to all the members. But it is always the result of an intelligent effort. I feel that this is the right sentence I have to quote this time, because the MACFAST family has already taken an intelligent effort. I mean a very intelligent effort for getting their college accredited with A grade at the first cycle of NAC accreditation itself. So in this context, especially with regard to the perspectives of the students, they may have the eagerness to see what about the perspectives of accreditations. So in the context of India, the accreditations may be, the process may be a voluntary accreditation, because without any compulsions, etc., we are taking the efforts, I mean that intelligent efforts to get our college accredited. Now outside, then interventions will be there. So that is why the ancient Indian university, that is Nalanda as well as Takshashila, it is a non-ancient university world over. Why? Because they have that universities were self-accredited institutions, through distinctiveness. So voluntarily, some institutions may make accreditation process. So second one is with regard to the mandatory accreditation process. So nowadays you might have read the news in different newspapers, as well as you have taken the idea from the media that the innovative programs will be offered by the university only to those organizations or institutions which have a remarkable accreditation status, and they are coming within the NIRF ranking. So that means, it is becoming mandatory. Say the third one is connected with the multiple accreditation. So I told you that voluntary, without any effort, we are taking the accreditation process. Mandatory, some sort of then influence will be there. Maybe we have to follow the regulations of the regulatory bodies regarding that multiple accreditations. Say even though we have got one accreditation of NAC, say we may get NB accreditations, MACFAST is doing that one. And ISO, say all those type of accreditations can also be acquired by a particular institutions. Say what about the validity of getting all these particular accreditations? Say as our respected father principal already said, say the accreditation status will give certain meaning for getting a gainful position after completing the programs by a student in an accredited college. So that means, say if a student has undergone a particular program, say he have got then undergone all the teaching, learning, exercises, etc. He might have taken the degree from the university, but when he is appearing before an interview board, especially in the corporate angle, say definitely a certificate from the accredited college will have higher value than that of an accredited college. So as I referred already, so if a candidate is appearing before me with a certificate of Naranda or Sakshashila, so without any interruptions, we will see. Say he might have certain quality. So that perspective is there. So then from the who is the most beneficial then participant for the accreditation, say whether the management, say whether the faculty members or whether the students. So I would like to say that the benefit of the accreditations, so definitely that will be enjoyed by the students community. So it is a necessity that of a student to get the college accredited. So the MACFAST is giving a platform for involving the student also in that particular accreditation process. So automatically that will be taking a learning exercise also, or an experiential learning will automatically be there. So hence the status of the students will also be elevated from the student of an ordinary college, I mean an accredited college, to that of an accredited college, especially with NIRF ranking. So I have identified, say what about the benefits of accreditation? At least 1% of the students may have thought of, why should I engage in this accreditation process? So what is the benefit as far as myself is concerned? So definitely the beneficiary actually that will be the students. Definitely the fame and prestige will always be there. So these are the benefits of getting the college or the institutions accredited. So first I will do that's an identity differentiation. Say how a college is distinctive from another college. So generally we will say that all the colleges are same. All the colleges has got certain faculty members. All the colleges have got certain furnitures, etc. may be there. All the colleges will have certain students will be there. All the colleges may have certain practice of governance. But say we will think it of how one institution is distinct from another institution. So that distinctiveness of the institutions can be had by getting the accreditation status of a college. Secondly, so definitely it is the validation of the reputation. So generally we will use a term goodwill. That is with regard to the fame of the college. So that reputation will be automatically be validated if a NAC A grade status is given by a reputed agency. And from the part of the institution also, so that institution has got is getting an opportunity to assess the strength, weakness, as well as the opportunities of the college. So Father Principal has, he has already made a remark of that one. So all the faculty members are joining together, all the student community are putting their heads together. So that togetherness will give to arrive at or to identify what is the strength of that particular institutions. So if any weak links are also there, we will be able to identify that weak links. So we will consider what about the opportunities that is waiting for us. For us, we mean both the institution as well as the students. Automatically, so that process will lead to give a collegiality on the campus, that the atmosphere of the campus, So that may be given an academic ambience. So definitely, say in this 21st century, the quality is well measured at all times. Everywhere else we are looking for the quality institutions, quality of the candidates, everywhere there is. So the enhanced competitiveness can be acquired or ensured through by getting the accreditation by NAC. So similarly, then after completing a particular program from a college, the student is leaving the campus. So when a student is leaving the campus, so he is in search of a better livelihood. At that time, say better student as well as the faculty outcome can be enjoyed. So this accreditation will give a platform for enjoying the outcome benefit of both the student as well as the faculty. And that it will always promote the faculty as well as the student join together as a team to undertake the minor projects, major projects, and all these minor or the major projects may be financed by various funding agencies also. And again, say coming to the present day scenario, say the campus recruitment is a major concern. Say especially in MACFAST, all the programs are PG programs. After completing a PG program, say we cannot wait for a long period for getting a gainful employment. Need not be some sort of employment. So that should be a gainful employment. So that gainful employment can be promoted through then campus recruitments. So definitely good companies will opt only the campus recruitment possibilities in NAC accredited colleges. And another thing, so automatically we can see that an intra as well as inter-institutional interactions will automatically be there in the campus. That is, a particular person cannot keep himself. So we is joining that particular family, and we are always become part and parcel of that particular structure. See, as we are all becoming part and parcel of that particular structure, automatically we are then taking the status of a team player there. And becoming a team player, so that will definitely contribute for the future or shaping the life pattern of the everybody else, either in entering in a job or having a particular self-employment programs or involving in NGOs, etc., something like that one. And not only that, say in this particular century, the mobility is a concern here. So definitely due to this pandemic situation, we know that the mobility is somewhat restricted. But even though that mobility is somewhat restricted for this particular period only, so the international student as well as the faculty mobility can be made possible with the badge of a particular status given by NAC. So I feel that the students will be aware of why I should involve in the NAC accreditation process of a college. And now, say especially these three words I have given. So I am giving the choice to the students because the majority of the participants are the students. Say after with a particular degree with you have taken from a particular university, MG university, then whatever be. So you are approaching an agency for a very good job or getting a job opportunity. So three aspects may be automatically be coming before you. So first part is elimination. So that means that because you might have submitted your CV there, and along with that particular CV, your course certificates may be there. So automatically the recruiters will be concerned. So whether this person I am going to recruit is a talented person, whether they will work for the future of the institutions, etc. So definitely what exercise they have or expertise they have taken from the campus, so that will be a telling factor. So by scrutinizing a number of CVs, say if a particular student has submitted a course certificate with a NAC accredited, maybe an accredited with A plus etc. in the coming days, say you are automatically be escaped from the elimination process. And you will automatically be made the process of integration. And that will lead to consider your chance for getting a gainful employment. So be sure that the accreditation will lead to consider a particular students from a particular campus. So let all the students of the MACFAST be considered for the better opportunities in the coming days. Say, from the part of the students, see, as far as I told you, the MACFAST family, the faculty members are well aware of the NAC process. But for the sake of the student and the major participants, say, see, so NAC, that 4 letters, NAAC, the full form is National Assessment and Accreditation Council. So this National Assessment and Accreditation Council, so is an autonomous body established by the UCC. So based on the outcome of the National Policy Education in 1886. And this was established in the formal manner of a regulatory accreditation body in 1994. The major task of this NAC is to assess and accredit institutions of higher education in India. So I would like to present or give emphasis to 2 words there. So that 2 words appearing there not with intentionally, that is assessment is there as well as accreditation is there. And accreditation is given by the NAC by going through a process of assessments. So hence, we use the term assessment and accreditation process. So now, say, what is the focus of the assessment and accreditation process envisaged by the NAC? Say, there are only with 3 aspects that are coming. The first aspect is quality initiative. The second part is quality sustenance. The third part is enhancements. So these 3 words, that is initiative, sustenance, and enhancements. So why these 3 words appear there? Because, say, I have initiated a quality program. Then a question may arise, for how much time, or how many weeks, or how many months, or how many years I should continue this particular initiative? The answer will be given by the second sentence. So that initiative is to be then followed by the quality sustenance program also. And that sustenance program should lead to quality enhancements. So definitely, by coming to the second cycle of accreditation, I will change the first words. That is the quality initiative. What the change we can see at that time. Then, and the assessment accreditation is based on the core values. The NAC has set 5 core values. Then certain criteria is already fixed by the NAC agency, and the key indicators are there. So I'm focusing our attention to the second and the third areas. There's a criteria for assessments. So 7 criteria, that is predetermined 7 criteria are there. And among that 7 criteria, so 32 key indicators are there to a college, then designated as a PG college. So why I have used the term PG college? Because there has been a radical change that has been taken by NAC in the framing their format for applying for the next cycle of accreditation. So that has taken place with effect from January 2020. MACFAST is now in the way of getting the second cycle of accreditation from 10th July 2021. So I am focusing on that area. What MACFAST should do? What should be our way of approach for getting that second cycle of accreditations? And what we have to do? I have already mentioned. So this slide is mainly I am focusing to our faculty members. So please see, there may be a compromise. So because the team includes the faculty members as well as the student community. So I have to address the perspectives of the faculty members as well as the students also. So this, as far as the students, the faculty members are concerned, say always ready to congratulate your effort day and night, 24 hours, putting your heads together. I have witnessed that fortunate environment at that time. With that environment, I am putting before you the words I have given in these slides. Say very well, I wish to express the fact that we need not much worry about that one. the methodology has made certain revision. The 90% of the methodology are the same, but there are certain conceptual issues, certain definitions part, etc. Certain methodological differences have initiated from January 2020 onwards. So definitely we will follow and adhere to that methodology. And as the first accreditation has already been over, so now we are facing the post-accreditation activities. Say, my students, I told you that I will change the first word, that is a quality initiative there. I have changed the word now. The initiatives I have changed to improvements. Why? At the first cycle, it is an initiative. The management has taken the initiative. The students at that time have taken the initiative. The faculty members, including the myself, everybody has taken the initiative. So that initiative should give a way for getting improvements. So in the second cycle, so what we are expected to present is, so we have taken the initiative there. So from that initiative, this much improvements we have taken, or we have achieved this much improvements. And these improvements will continue also for the sustenance position as well as the enhancement also. So this is to be reported to the NAC agency. How we have to report? So because we have taken all the efforts, but we have to report to the agency that we have taken all these particular efforts. That reporting is through the minutes of the IQAC. The reporting is through the AQARs you are filing then each and every year. So the improvement we have taken, what about the improvement? The post-accreditation stage, after the first year, what improvement you have taken? The second year, what improvement you have taken? And these improvements, how it is clubbed with the sustenance and the enhancement programs, automatically the IQAC will discuss all these things. And the IQAC meetings, so we will convene the IQAC meetings, so clear-cut decisions will be taken in the IQAC meetings regarding the improvement, sustenance and enhancement programs to be taken by the MACFAST. And that minutes will be uploaded in the institutional website. So because then every activity of the NAC, each and everything, so it is the transparency is there, 100% transparency is there. Any stakeholders can see what we are doing there after that particular accreditation stage. What ambience we have realized and what ambience we are enjoying, what type of movement we are going for the enhancement procedures, etc. So that can be had, that information can be had from looking to the IQAC, the IQAC minutes. So the IQAC minutes that will be uploaded in the website of the MACFAST. So I know that when properly it is there, so any stakeholder, the students, employers, we or we, you can go through the minutes, we can get what about the improvement you have done there. And so there should be a timely submission of the annual quality assurance reports, AQAR. And that AQAR should also be then uploaded in the institutional website. There is no privacy there. Everything, then 100% more transparency is there. So from the AQARs, the AQAR number 1, AQAR number 2, AQAR number 3, and AQAR number 4. The summation of these 4 AQARs, so that will be the self-study reports. That is, we are expected to submit in July 10, 2021. So I request all the participation of the faculty members as well as the parents, the students. The parents will also be there. Then enjoying for doing the work, for submitting this particular then SSR on 10th July 2021. And now, say, what about this IQARs while preparing this IQARs? So this slide is also, I think, that I'm more focused towards the faculty members. Say, so we have to see that this for the purpose of submitting the IIQA, the Students Place Institutional Information for Quality Assessments. So for submitting this IIQA, this we have to then give the AQAR. So we then MACFAST, all the AQRs we have already submitted. 1 year is pending. So that will be submitted before 31st October 2020. So that is due to these pandemic situations. NAC itself are well aware of all these constraints there, and everything will be submitted before 31st October 2020. So I am very, very happy that all the AQRs are ready for submitting it. And there should be one edit certain words there. So that is, so the validity of the data and the precision as well as the clarity will be also be there. So that means in certain questions we have to answer in 250 words or 500 words, etc. there. So like giving an essay or short answer type, so automatically then by counting that 250 that words, automatically the computer will stop the procedures to be taken afterwards. So the contentful words we have to include while giving these descriptive answers. And I am coming to the students' part. Say to get familiarized with the terms of National Assessment and Accreditation Council used for the second cycle of accreditations. Say then we are using the term HEIs. The students in the coming days, we are always be using these terms instead of higher education institutions. And the IQAC, this is a common word. That is internal quality assurance cell. I feel very proud of that. A student's level IQAC is also functioning there. So you students, you are contributing a lot to the accreditation status of the college. Be proud of your engagement there. And the next one is QIF. So we call it as the Quality Indicator Framework. KIs, that is key indicators. Then IIQA, I already told you, that is Institutional Information for Quality Assessment. SSR, that is Self-Study Reports. QNM, Quantitative Metrics. Then QLM, Qualitative Metrics. So you need not spend the time for taking it by heart. Your faculty members will be with you for giving the clarifications there. I have just shown there, that's all. And from the part of the students also, the faculty members are very comfortable there because they have done the work already. So what's the process of accreditation we will take in the second cycle? That is, say, I am repeatedly using the word 10th July 2021 in golden letters. So we have to see their grade A++. So for getting that golden letters with A++, so we have to follow these particular processes. The first process, that is IIQA, we have to submit it. So there is a particular format will be there, and that format should be duly filled in. Everything is through the portal opened by the NAC, and we have to submit that IIQA, Institutional Information for Quality Assessment. Say, Institutional Information for Quality Assessment. We are exposing to the NAC that this is our college, or myself is our college. So if myself is personifying that this is MACFAST, I am telling that I have 2 eyes, then 2 ears, 2 hands, 2 legs, etc. likewise. So we are personifying that this is MACFAST through that particular format. Then after submitting that IIQA, so we will get a mail from the NAC immediately and accepting it, the IIQA. That is, you will be ready or your application is accepted. So you can submit the SSR. The SSR may be referred as the Bible or Veda or Idihasa of a particular institution. So that much importance is there. That is SSR, self-study reports. In the latest SSR, that is self-study reports, that is applicable from the 2020 January onwards. This is applicable for the faculty members as well as the student community, including myself. The assessment will have certain quantitative metrics. The quantitative metrics we mean through the 7 criteria. So we are expressing what are doing in our college by giving answers to certain questions. that is quantitative metrics. And we are then submitting online this part of the SSR. And they, based on that particular quantitative metrics, a pre-qualification stage will be there. And based on that particular pre-qualification, then the NAC will decide and proceed to the peer team visit as a management process. Taken for granted the sentence, the pre-qualification should be successfully completed. So then only the peer team visits will be entertained by the NAC. That what the peer team is members are taking note of in the campus is validating the data through a verification process. Then it is a computerized process by physical verification. So we refer it to as QLM, that is qualitative metrics. Quantitative metrics will be there, then similarly the qualitative metrics will also be there. So based on that quantitative metrics, qualitative metrics added with the results of the student satisfaction survey, the grade will be declared by the NAC agency. So once again I repeat, let the grade be A++. And see, once I have submitted the IIQA, I will meet the institution because I am becoming the part of the institution. Not myself individually, all the faculty members, students, management, every stakeholders. And once the IIQA is submitted and get it accepted, within 45 days, say we have to submit the SSR. There is no compromise there. And again, as a general information, especially to the students, so the combination or the composition of the SSR, that is self-study reports, I have used the word Veda, Idihasa, Bible, then whatever be, or Quran, whatever be the holy book we have. So that status is there for the SSR. As far as an academic, educational, quality-based institution is there. So this composition of SSR, 70% of the total data we are submitting is quantitative. And 30% is only qualitative. That 70% is quantitative, actually physically what we are submitting it. Then 30% is only qualitative, ascertained by the peer team visits. And the third one is regarding the optional metrics is also there. Because say this is an all India organization or a regulatory body NAC. The manual is prepared by NAC for all the higher education institutions throughout India. And there are certain aspects applicable to a particular college, certain aspects are not applicable to a particular college. So for example, so regarding the concern of the MACFAST, an institution already accredited with a grade A. In the second cycle of accreditation, so we may be expected to give an answer. Say, what about the percentage of the results at the graduate level? Say in MACFAST, no graduate programs are there. So that type of information is not applicable for MACFAST. So hence, it is not applicable metrics will also be there. So in the case of non-applicable metrics, what is the way out? So don't worry about it, please. The NAC itself is giving the way out. You may just opt it out. You need not consider that one. So what about the informations are there? That need only be considered. Others you plus just then opt out. But all the informations we cannot opt it out. Certain restrictions are also given by the NAC. The maximum weightage we can opt out is limited to 3%. Because the total weightage is 1,000, 30, then up to 30 you can opt it out. And the maximum weightage per criteria cannot exceed 30 per 10. And criteria 1, 2, and 7 cannot be opted out. And from the part of the interest of the satisfying the interest of the students, say this is what I have already told you, then 25% is the for pre-qualifying where score is 25%. So that should be acquired through the DVV process, then getting that 25%, it is very easy as far as the MACFAST context is concerned. And then, so this is the case of the, from January 2020, the major changes you have taken by the NAC is this one. The entire education institutions has been divided into three categories. The first category, universities, second category, autonomous colleges, and the third category, affiliated or constituent colleges. So this is the third category, universities, autonomous colleges, and affiliated or constituent colleges. So that affiliated college, say MACFAST is an affiliated college. In that case also, the UG college as well as the PG college, that classifications will also be there. So I am showing this particular slide only for the purpose of getting an awareness. Why? Because when I am coming through to the area of student satisfaction survey, I will use a word. The students are more enthusiastic for getting information. The students have got more curiosity. To satisfying that informative attitude and the curiosity you have, so I am presenting this slide. You need not study by heart everything, but have a glance over to that one. MACFAST is an affiliated college. It is designated as a PG college. So that criteria, the given under that PG heading, that is applicable for MACFAST. So therefore, which manual we have to adopt? No doubt, the answer to the question is the PG manual is applicable for our college. Then taking into account that PG manual, the criteria 7 I have already told you, the key indicators, 32 key indicators are there, 36 qualitative metrics are there, 60 quantitative metrics are there, the total metrics 96. So we will see what about that metrics we will then make a particular, what about the movement will be made through a chessboard. Say we will move the data here and there, the criteria wise, we will move the informations. So definitely the 96 metrics. So we have to get it collected and we have to submit it also. And again, say we are focusing on these particular three criteria. So here, the major criteria is, one is curricular aspects. The weightage is 100 for PG. So the second one is teaching, learning and evaluation. The weightage is 350, both for PG as well as UG. Research, innovations and extension. MACFAST being a PG college, so we can enjoy that benefit of 120 weightage. For UG, it is only 110. Infrastructure and learning resources. The state-of-the-art then infrastructure facilities there. So the weightage is 100. Then student support and progression. All the co-curricular, extracurricular activities. Say we will put together, integrating it together, and we will make certain modifications. And by making that modifications and setting it in through a data mindset, data should be then informative. So that would be, we will get 130 weightage. The governance, leadership and management 100, and the institutional values and best practices 100. So this is the distribution of the total weightages. Shall I continue, please?
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, sir. Okay, right. Okay, right. Then I am not at all going detail into the curricular aspects because the time constraints will also be there. But from the part of the student community, because the major participants are there, the inspirative group is there. So you see, just a glance over what you are enjoying from the classrooms through the words of your beloved faculty members. So the curriculum is designed by the university as far as an affiliated college is concerned. So we need not bother about much about getting a weightage for curriculum because it is designed by the university. But the major role of the faculty members is connected with the delivery system. So I have a curriculum with me. Say how I have to present it to the students. I maybe see that the word student has got meaning. One who is very studious for studies is very studious. So how that curriculum designed by the university is expressed in the words of a teacher in the classroom to satisfy the requirements of a studious student. So that is regarding the curricular planning and implementation. There should be a planning mechanism. Through that planning, you are implementing it. And definitely the academic flexibility. Here also, so we have got not much flexibility. Only restricted or limited flexibility. Why? Because the curriculum is designed by the university. But we have got a platform for designing the curriculum enrichment programs. So 30 will be the weightage. So I know that the MACFAST is identified as a student-centric campus. So being a student-centric campus, then based on the attitude and perspectives of the students' community, the curriculum enrichment can be designed and redesigned for satisfying and getting the weightage of 30. Definitely a feedback system will be there. So that feedback system will mean, say feedback should always be taken as a positive method. It should not be a negative one. It is positive. If I am a teacher, how can I get it corrected? So you know what is the major challenge of a teacher facing in the classroom or in the campus? The faculty members, you may be experiencing that one. What is the major challenge? The major challenge is this one. I have to make sure. So that is, I have fruitfully committed my work. My work we mean perfectly. Say I have then delivers the curriculum designed by the university to the students who is very curious for getting the further studies also. And we have to make sure that all the curricular aspects we have completely, we have then entertained also. So that entertainment process will also be there. So everything can be presented through a feedback system. So this is connected with the curricular aspects. So say through the words of the teacher, so this is the situations I will remark the role of a teacher. The teacher is satisfying the curiosity of a student through the delivery system of the curriculum designed by the university. And that is connected with the teaching, learning, and the evaluation. The second criteria, 350, weightage is 350. So I'm not at all coming to with regard to all the key indicators there. So these are the key indicators. The students, I think that you may be clear about the words. Am I right? Varghese sir?
Yes, yes.
Clear? Varghese sir, clear? Yes. Then, so here, the student enrollment, etc., that will automatically be done at the time of the admissions, etc. Then the student diversity will also be satisfying, but the teaching learning process. So that we have to entertain. The teacher profile as well as the quality initiatives. That should also be, we have to give due weightage. The evaluation process, definitely the internal assessments, then clear-cut parameters are given by the university, but even then, we have to give justice to that particular evaluation process. And through the key indicators 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, that result in the student performance and learning outcome. Say, dear faculty members as well as the students, say this is at this particular time. So we are putting our heads and hearts together for giving the maximum, the student performance and learning outcomes be at the maximum for getting the weightage, not simply for getting the weightage of 60 only, for satisfying the requirement of NARC parameter, then as a value-based education institutions. So we have to make sure during all the years also, So through the key indicators 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So we are maximizing the student performance and ensuring the learning outcome. Yes, my dear students, I am focusing on the 2.7, the key indicator. So this is the major role. This is the major area of the engagement, and the students are getting an enlightened acceptance for involvement in the accreditation process. So I have already referred that, say you are the real beneficiaries, okay, admitted it 100 times, but what the role as a student I have to play for getting the NAAC A++ certification of my institutions. So here, say the last then key indicator is given to you only. It is given to the students. So that is the student satisfaction survey. The student satisfaction survey. So why this is the new addition of the revised then manual effective from January 2020. So the major area in the second cycle of accreditation, the more focus is also on this particular area because it is a new addition, contributing a lot for getting that particular golden then status symbol also A++. Then, but I would like to ask you a question. Why NAAC has taken an effort for including the student satisfaction survey? Even before 2020 also, so many institutions are there. The accreditation has taken place by even from 1994 onwards. In 2020, why we have inserted this one? Because the competencies are getting much value in the 21st century educations. And you may be heard of the 3 Sanskrit words. One is Jnanam. Have you heard it of my students? The second one is Jnayam, and the third one is Vijnayam. Jnanam, that is called knowledge. Then Jnayam we mean what I should know. Say in MACFAST, then a number of PG programs are there. The students should expected to see what I should know. So knowledge, I should get the knowledge, what I should know. So that may be the reason you have taken admission in that college. What I should know. And the third one is regarding the Vijnayam, Jnanam knowledge. The second one is Jnayam, what I should know. This is a question mark. The answer will be given by giving the third word, that is Vijnayam. That is a source from where I can get that particular knowledge. That is, I want knowledge. Which knowledge I have to acquire? What is the source, or from where I can get this particular knowledge? So I make sure, being my close association with the family of MACFAST, so you can get the sources of your knowledge from the library of MACFAST, from the laboratories of the MACFAST, say from the participation in the radio MACFAST, from the MACFAST industry interfaces programs, etc., from the IVs you have conducted, the technology activities going on there, the food science that is connected with that area will be there, and then MBA programs. Then regarding from the School of Bioscience, etc., what about how we are connecting from to the nature? So from all these areas, so we are getting that particular information. So even though I am not sitting in MACFAST, so I can visualize a foundation stone given in front of that particular School of Biosciences. That is a central government project. So through this particular, I see that this computer before me, I can visualize it as a foundation stone there. Say through and through that particular wordings there, so we can enlighten our aspirations for knowledge. So this is the answer. So this type of information can be had to the students from various number of institutions. I have already measured about the ancient self-accredited university in Nalanda as well as Takshashila, like that one. So this may be the aspiration of NAAC, so to include student satisfaction survey. So shall I concentrate on student satisfaction survey, Varghese sir? Okay. Then, so why the student satisfaction survey? The first answer I would tell you is student satisfaction is a direct indicator of the effectiveness of teaching learning process. What about the effectiveness of the teaching learning process? The effectiveness of the teaching learning process from a classroom or in a particular campus, the only agency or the only person who can give the answer is none other than the students. So to whom I have to pose a question, so whether the teaching learning process is effective or not. Then actually the process is enjoyed by the students as well as the teachers. So therefore, this SSS is a direct indicator of the effectiveness of the teaching learning process. First. The second one is, so we have to establish whether the process is effective or not. So what we will do, as far as the education institution is there, a number of stakeholders are there. The management, the students, teachers, then prospective employees, then alumni, your parents, then all are the stakeholders of an organization. But the major stakeholder is none other than the students. So it is a necessity that the major group is to be involved in the process. The major group is the students. In MACFAST, more than 500 students are there. The 500 heads are then joining together for framing certain imaginations, for strategizing the programs, developing future then strategies, implementing application side, etc. So 500 and more heads are joining together. So the ambience we cannot imagine. So that ambience should be reflected through the SSR. So that is why the students are expected to engage fruitfully in that particular accreditation process. So my students, I would like to tell you that, so we may be heard of the term experiential learning. The most experiential learning process is none other than engagement in the accreditation process. Because even at midnight, in your minds, an idea will come up. Even though at in the midnight, you may stood and you may make a remark. In somewhere else, this is the idea that is to be presented to my college. Then, so that much importance is there. And again, say from the nature of the age group, the students are more participative. So as far as we people are concerned, so we may not be so much participative like that of the students. So that particular importance of the young blood, you are more participative, you are more motivated, and you are also more curious in providing valuable contributions. So because, say whenever you are conducting a survey regarding income, say if you are coming before me to making a study on the savings pattern of myself, you will ask me a question, sir, what would be your annual income? I will say, I have some income, something like that one. I will not be happy to then reveal my particular income. But as far as the students' community is concerned, so you are then the survey is connected with what you are enjoying, what that particular jnanam, jnayam, vijnayam you have already heard of. So that three words is supplemented by jnanam, jnayam, ja vijnayam, sada buddhe prakirtidam. That is, you have acquired the jnanam, you have turned the jnayam and the vijnayam, that is identified the source. The learned persons will always praise you. All the learned persons will praise you. So that is why that applications, I refer it as participative, motivated, and you are more curious in providing valuable contributions. So your contributions have got more validity than any other stakeholders. Then similarly, regarding the community status also, your ideas and dimensions may surpass the boundaries of the institution also. Your ideas may not have any geographical boundaries. Then even beyond the boundary of the MACFAST, at the KSRTC bus station, railway station, in the markets, wherever else you are going, wherever you are meeting your colleagues, wherever you are meeting your friends. So you will talk about the academic ambience of MACFAST, what you are getting from there, what about you are losing there, what you are enjoying, what you are not enjoying. You say everything will be shared with third parties also. And in addition to this, the students have got a major role in the social change activity also. So I think that, so you may be happy to my satisfaction. I think that you may be satisfied with regard to the answer to the question, why a student satisfaction survey is to be conducted. And this is what to be done by the NAC. So this slide is also, I am giving only a form of then information say, because that part of then what I should know, that part of NAM, because you should get the praise from the third parties. And what the NAC will do, a survey will be conducted. Who will conduct the survey? The survey is conducted directly by the NAC, not the faculty members. So definitely the faculty members have a role, but the survey is conducted directly by the NAC. And that survey is conducted simultaneously with the DVV process also. So DVV, that is data validation and verification process. So this is an automated process. That is the QNM I have already measured. That is, you have supplied your quantitative data to the NAC. They, through that particular computerization process, that will automatically be validated and verified by the appropriate software. So at that time, this survey is also be getting validated, because no other time is spared for collecting the questionnaire, analyzing it, etc. like that one. And the SSS will be conducted, that is student satisfaction survey will be conducted simultaneously with the data validation process. So you please the students, you please keep it in your minds, or you please think it of, I have given a questionnaire to you. You are filling that questionnaire. You are submitting that questionnaire online. By submitting, you are pressing that button submit. See, your mind is reading by an agency deputed by the NAC in the DVV process through a software. Because I have given certain information, my mind is reading by this through this DVV process through a mechanized process. Automatically, you are involving in that particular process. And for that particular mechanism, what the institution should do at the time of admission. So once again, 10th July 2021, as far as MACFAST is concerned, the email ID as well as the mobile numbers of all the students will be given by the institution as a database then at the time of filing the SSR also. See, first we have submitting the IAQA, getting it accepted by the NAC. So we have to submit the SSR within 45 days. So within that particular 45 days, what is happening? Automatically the database is submitting to NAC. The NAC will identify the students on a random sampling method, because all the 500 students cannot be selected for the interview, for administering the questionnaire. Like all other research in social sciences, a random sampling method will be adopted by the NAC. So who the students, which student is to be admitted? Say be then happy for praising the gods for getting my chance in that particular sample, getting it to get an entry in that particular sample. May God bless you for getting an entry in that particular sample, because you are getting a rare chance in your life to get accredited to becoming part of the accreditation process of a college. Okay, so that questionnaire will be emailed to the students. So if a particular student is then entered in that particular survey process, the questionnaire will be emailed to the students. The responses will be collected by the NAC. See, I referred that it is a random sampling method we are adopting. See, as far as an affiliated college is concerned, then at least 10% of the student population or 100, whichever is less, that much questionnaire responses should be received by the NAC. Okay, if 500 students are there, the NAC should get at least 10% of the student population or 100, whichever is less, for the purpose of analyzing this particular questionnaire. So, you are, in my point of view, I will always say that any person who is getting a chance with by God's blessings of the God Almighty to enter in that particular database, it is a rare opportunity. You please use that particular opportunity to give and fill the questionnaire immediately and submit it at that particular process. So this is, you will be fortunate enough. And then what happens in the case of, then as I told you that all the students are very curious. So taking into advantage of that category of students, so you may be anxious enough. What about the criteria for universities? Because the entire education system is divided as university, autonomous college, and affiliated colleges. So in the case of university, instead of 100, it will be 500. That is 10% of the total student population of that university, or 500, whichever is less. So as far as the MACFAST is concerned, being an affiliated college, 10% or 100, whichever is less. So be happy, entertaining the questionnaire and submitting your responses. And then if the response is less than that particular percentage, then what is happening? Our grade will be affected. Grade will be affected here, I mean, the total grading process will be your, then a weightage will not be counted for giving or ascertaining that particular grading process. So let it not be happen there. And again, what's the role of the faculty member? So all the points I have already expressed. The students is very happy, I can feel from here. And I can read the mindset of the students. So many students are eagerly listening these words. I think that I am also fortunate enough to addressing that students. And what the role of the faculty? Say this, the questionnaire is administering to the students. Official formalities we have to address. The timely submission of the students of the survey results by the students is to be monitored by the faculty members. So I'm very fortunate enough in telling that MACFAST has got a teamwork. Definitely that monitoring will be there, but casually I am, for the sake of an academic interest, I am then repeating that word also. That is, the institution can encourage the students to participate in the survey and guide them in the survey. That is how to fill it up, etc., etc., etc. And say if I am a student, I am getting a questionnaire. From where? From the NAC. I am getting the questionnaire through email also. Say, how many questions will be there? You don't be bothered about that. Only 21 questions will be there. Only 21. Or if all the questionnaires are then administered, even all the 500 or more students, all the students will get a questionnaire with 21 questions. Not 22 or 19 or 20. And by making a classification of the questionnaire, 20 questions are objective type questions with multiple choices. 20 questions are objective type questions with multiple choices. And in certain questions, say you have to rank it as either very excellent or excellent, good, average, poor, or etc. Then very much satisfied, not satisfied, like that one. Then these much, then multiple choices are there. And one question is open-ended. That is a subjective nature. The 21st question is open-ended. And the students, please, you may visualize the questionnaire in your mind because you have done the project work at your graduation. You might have used the questionnaires, etc. In future also, I think that a good number of the students may be searching for research opportunities. You have to take into account that particular questionnaire process, etc. will be there. Please see. So 21 questions from number 1, 2, 3, etc. Certain instructions will also be given to you at the first part. And at the first part, along with that particular instructions, the last instruction is this one. Then that instruction is, say these questions are, or the responses to these questions are related to the second criteria only. That is the teaching, learning experiences. See, 350 weightage is there. As a student community is concerned, apart from the infrastructure facilities are there, your life is geared or fortunate by your results you have gained from the curricular aspects and the teaching learning process enjoyed from the MACFAST. So the last question, 21st question, so that is only open-ended. And all other questions are objective type questions with multiple choices. And that multiple choice have 5 responses will be there. And a scale, that's 5 response in a 5-point scale. That is the highest then as a response or the most positive response is rated as 4. And the most negative response is rated as 0. So the objective type questions have 5 responses rated on a scale from 4 to 0. The most positive response, it will be rated as 4, and the most negative response is rated as 0. If I am asking a question, say whether you are giving the 4 for a particular question or 3, 2, 1 or 0 for a question, which you will give the rate? Please not to give the answer now. So which rate I have to give? So that rate should be evolved from the mind of a particular student. Our mindset will give you, say this is 4, or this is 3, or this is 2, or this is 1, or this is 0. At that time, the glorified Guru empowering you to give the answer is none other than your mindset. Keep it up. Okay, so coming to the question number 21, that regarding that mindset, I give you a clarification. The mindset can be rated from the experiential learning you have enjoyed, supported by that learning process. And in question number 21, say it is a free question. You can give any answer you can give. But that is why we call it as open-ended questions. The researchers will see your questions may be framed as open-ended, multiple choice, etc. like that one. So here, in question number 21, so you can give 3 observations. What you have observed from the campus. Say through and through the 7 criteria and through the key indicators, what we have observed and what we have enjoyed, what you have not enjoyed, what the suggestions you have, what the observations you have. Say this question number 21 is giving a platform that one. So use that particular platform also. So I think that you are aware of the nature of the questions. Okay, once again, only 21 questions, 20 objective, the most response, the responses, 5 responses rated as 4 to 0, most positive response is rated as 4, and the most negative response is rated as 0. Question number 21, so it is then open-ended. You are free to give any observations, any suggestions you have gained, emerge from your mindset through the process of the teaching, learning, exercise you have enjoyed in the campus. And that is once again, this questionnaire is purely for teaching, learning, exercise. Then, say, I'm very, very happy because I am also a teacher. Then I will always feel happy and I will always personally, I am always feel very enjoyment whenever I am using the word teacher. Say, because why we are enjoying by using the word teacher? Because now the answer is none other than we are teachers. Very sir, am I right? We are teachers. So therefore we will always feel happy about it. Because this is the noblest profession in the globe. No other professions are there, such a glorified profession like a teacher. And blessings to all our then beloved faculty members there, because you are all with me, I know that. And say to the one word to the faculty members, what I have done in my classroom, what I have performed in the campus, what I have read from the face of the students, what I have interpreted the mindset reading I have taken through and through the classroom, adopting the classroom teaching methods. Say somewhere else we will say that he is a good student, he is not so good, but we never use the term he is a bad student. No teacher in the world use the term he is a bad student. We will say he is a good student, excellent student, supportive, so much qualifications we will use. So this is the beauty of a teacher also. A teacher will be very beautiful, whether male or female. The beauty lies on our outlook regarding the teaching, the greatest exercise ever we can have in the world. Say, then through our exercise, Asha and all some teachers are there, because Asha, the word I have referred, because Asha, you have already conducted a webinar regarding this particular NB accreditation process. I have gone through that one. I feel very happy and feel that you are so comfortable also. Congratulations also. Take into account that skill. Then the comparing by Neetu, etc. I have enjoyed it very much in the afternoon, in the 5 o'clock. Then, so take into account all these particular ambience. So I am putting forward to my students. So these are the questions, the contents in the questionnaire. That is to be responded by our beloved students or our good students. See, what is the subject knowledge of the teacher? The subject knowledge of the teacher, a student is not evaluating by giving an examination to the teacher, by not conducting an examination. By the learning process, a teacher, a student can ascertain the subject content of a teacher. The communication skill of the teacher, the methodology of the teaching learning process. So which methodology we can adopt? What would be the teaching methodology? Say being a college having only postgraduate programs, so definitely a participative mode of teaching is always advocated or favored or is recommended. Why? Because both the teacher as well as the students are becoming the part and parcel of the teaching learning process. So we cannot make the teacher isolated from the students. The student also won't feel I am isolated from the teacher. So one mindset we are feeling through that methodology of teaching. So a participative method of teaching is always advocated for a postgraduate student, then institutions. So one method, participative method of teaching. Student participations, we can rate it there. Then experiential learning process you can enjoy. Then skill development programs, say we can enjoy that one. Through the games, etc., the contents can be delivered, or through the charts or diagrams or any other forms, we can then express the contents to the students. So the methodology of then entertained or adopted by a teacher, automatically the students will rate it as. So therefore, the student can rate the methodology of teaching learning process. He is enjoyed not only in the classroom, in the entire campus, whether it is library, laboratory, or in the radio MACFAST or what will be there. And the fairness in internal evaluation process. Say the university has already set certain components or parameters, well-defined component and parameters for the internal evaluation process. The nobility of the teaching profession lies on the fact that I am fair in the internal evaluation process. That acceptance will be enjoyed by the students also. So we the teachers as well as the students, we are all coming to one conclusion, no other conclusions or no other diversions, that the internal evaluation process is fair. The teacher will definitely say, I am very fair. The student will also see, then say, with louder words, we will say, the teacher is fair. That will be evaluated by the students. So that is a fairness in internal evaluation process. And the next one is, what about the mentoring and student support? So I told you that 21 questions are there. I am narrating all the 21 questions through these major areas: subject knowledge or the subject contents, communication skill of the teacher, methodology the teacher is adopting and the student is enjoying, the fairness in the evaluation process, then the mentoring and the student support. I feel a mentoring team is there. Certain allocations regarding the mentor group has already been formed. Then regarding the recommendations of the student IQAC also, so that mentoring group is functioning there. Well and good. And that mentoring and student support will also be evaluated by the student. Rating as from 4 to 7. And the use of ICT tools. That is the ICT-enabled methodology of teaching is advocated in 21st century learning process. So in this pandemic situation, COVID-19, say the online classes are going on. So even in that particular online classes are going on, say my fairness attitude is that, say we should not be unlocked, we should not be locked from the ambience of the college. The ambience of the college should always remain unlocked. A student from at least 1% of the student may have got a doubt here. Sir, I am not at all going in the college. The new admissions, they might not have seen the entry of that or the front gate of the college. How can we get the ambience? How can I visualize the ambience of the MACFAST? The answer is none other than this one, the methodology of teaching learning process undertaken by the faculty members. Through that methodology, definitely the ambience of the college will automatically be traveling from the campus to the house of the students. Automatically it is reaching in his, then whether mobile phone or in his laptop, whichever tool he is or she is using. So that use of ICT enabled mechanism, so that will also be evaluated through the responses given by the students. And now, see, once again, please the students and faculty members, so we are putting together, the togetherness, that aspect is always telling upon. The subject knowledge we are sharing, what the communication skill I have, which methodology I am using for satisfying the requirements, B, satisfying the curiosity of the students. The fairness in the internal evaluation process, that is our attitude. The mentoring as well as the student support, the ICT tools you are using. The combination of all these components. So that will lead to giving either a rate of 4, 3, 2, 1 or 0 regarding overall quality of teaching learning process. See, the quality of the teaching learning process is determined or judged by what the contents I have already mentioned. And the last one is, it is left to the students. Say you will be free. Any observations we can have, any suggestions we can give, but all your observations and suggestions will always be welcomed by the learned personalities, the institutions, then as well as the NAC regulatory authorities for giving the and fixing the grades. But see, there are certain limitations also. So because for everything, there will be certain limitations are there. Of course, even in that particular online method of teaching, we are learning. certain aspect we will see that we cannot travel, something like that may be there, but you are losing the ambience of the college. Certain limitations are there. The participations, there is some limitations are there. Everything is there. So these limitations is applicable for in the survey mechanism also. So that limitations emerge from the questionnaire itself. That is, that questionnaire is designed with only 21 questions. And you have no freedom in that the questions given in up to from 1 to 20, making or remarking another response. The rate is also from 4 to 0. You cannot give the rate as 9 or 10 or something like that one. So that limitation, because this is a limitation of all the social science research, we will accept it as. But from the practical side, what the limitations are there? So since the introduction of this self-study report, the introduction of the student satisfaction survey as a key indicator as 2.7 in that particular second criteria. This is not addressed by the institutions in India, not only in MACFAST, in India, for getting the accreditation or entering in the accreditation process, because we have not taken note of. This is the first time we are introducing it. So SSS has been least practiced in the education sector in India. We have not given much importance. But now we are giving importance. The students are automatically coming then within the framework of the NAAC assessment and accreditation process. The peer team will be then reaching the students also, and they are ready, will then arrange a platform from hearing the students also, including the alumni. Again, the validity of the SSS, that is a student satisfaction survey, that may also be then influenced by the attitudinal change of the students. The attitudinal change of the students. What the attitudinal change of the students here be mean? The questionnaire may be received is receiving by the student in the email, directly by the NAAC. Say, then at that time, say our mindset may not be in a positive attitude. Or we may be busy with some other than engagements, etc. So even in COVID situations also, we are reading all the news, etc., connected with addressing these then issues, etc. And you may not have given so much importance for giving this survey because it has not been practiced in India before. So that attitudinal change of the students might have been reflected in the questionnaire. Questionnaire we mean the responses given the questionnaire. Say this is a law of the nature. The nature has got a law. It may not be validated through a statistical approach or something. We might not have calculated any chi-square or correlation or regression, etc. Nature has got certain law. There may be a dwindling mindset will be there for having every individual. That is administered by the nature. At least 1% of the persons may be there to find fault with everything else. So even we are good, we have given a sumptuous dinner something, we may find that the content of the salt may be to something might not have been there, or something like that. Or the sugar content may not be like this. That attitude may be there. But I know that in MACFAST that the students may not have that attitude. Why? Because that much entertainment you are enjoying there. But as an academic sense, I have to give the information. So that is what. But the other students are also there. For everything and everything. We will always see positive attitudes also. By nature, the pessimistic attitudes may be there. The optimistic attitude may be there. The majority may be a combination of both pessimism as well as the optimism. So that changes may be reflected in the responses there. The another limitation is there may be a casual approach may be there. So I have received a questionnaire. Why should I fill this time itself? Tomorrow morning I can send it. In tomorrow morning I may have another engagements. So I may postpone to the next day morning. In that is next day, etc. That casual approach may also be there. And again, so there may be some unrealistic approach may be there. An unrealistic approach. So that unrealistic approach we mean, say that for the purpose of what I can ask for, or what should be my ambition, I will say that the sky is the limit. So we can inquire for anything else, anything and everything else. So unrealistic approaches may be there, maybe at least in 0.1% students or something like that. May not be in I'm not at all telling it with regard to the MACFAST context. As an academic sense, so these are the limitations of the student satisfaction survey. So by giving the responses, the students, the respondents, the students are the respondents there. So you should also see that these much limitations are there in any academic research or social science research that is applicable in this field survey administered to the student community also. And so I have given certain suggestions for the quality, improving the quality of the assessors. Say we have seen that certain limitations are there. How we can overcome that particular limitations? The first limitation I told you that there was no previous experience. We have no suggestions for that one because we have no previous experience. We are enjoying it for the time being. The institutions can practice one thing. The IPSC may take the lead in conducting the student satisfaction survey every year based on the NAC pattern. Because, so even though in MACFAST that work is going on, I know that. Even though the second accreditation is 21st July, so we need not then wait for 21st July every year, so we can have a student satisfaction survey, so that the student will be very familiar, acquainted with the system. Then the maximum involvement of the students in curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. The MACFAST campus itself is designated as a student-centric campus. And I have given the key parameters or the key indicators in the curricular as well as the second criteria regarding the teaching, learning, etc. process. So these two key then indicators, the maximum involvements can be get by the students in all these activities. So definitely it is promoting in the campus. And the student itself, without any compulsion, nobody is persuading you. So we may enjoy the resources of the college in which I am studying. That is regarding the third word I have told you in Sanskrit, that is the Vijnayam. Why I am using that word, it has got a wider meaning. So that Vijnayam, from where I can get the sources of, from where I can get the knowledge I require. The students you may please without any compulsion. So you may enjoy the facilities in the laboratories, in the library. You may participate in the radio MACFAST programs, and in the IV it is conducting the MACFAST industry interface programs, etc. The festivals, etc. You are conducting it. You ensure all your participation without any compulsions or persuasions there. Let the faculty member can encourage the students to involve in these particular activities also. So, by answering all the 20 questions and giving the suggestions through that open-ended questions, the student will get a clear-cut idea which area I have to focus, what suggestions I could get. This is more applicable in giving that open-ended 20 question to numbered as 21. Then we can give the suggestion, only giving a familiarity with regard to the concern. Even without entering in the laboratory or even without make a visit in the library, how can we give a suggestion whether it is to be improved or not? So frequently we have to feel or a homely atmosphere, definitely we will be in a safer position, very comfortable position for giving the answer number 21. And it is the responsibility of the faculty members also. The students may be educated to fill up the questionnaire because everything is given on through and through this ICT enabled mechanism. I am fully aware of the ICT tools available in MACFAST. By pressing that particular submit button, say we should be we should give the enthusiasm. So we should give all the engagements or involve in the engagements, give the encouragements, inspire them to give the press button at the appropriate time. And then again, the responses may be restricted to teaching learning process only. I am repeatedly telling that all the students, faculty members, so you please make sure the first and second criteria, all the components are framed by making use of the key indicators of the first and second criteria only. So you need not go beyond that one. Need not be? No, it should not be. And I want to give a suggestion there. A student's charter may be developed through the involvement in the IQAC. So what is a student charter? It is a term or a concept regarding in the accreditation process, not only in NAC. A student charter may be developed. Such student charter, we mean, I am a student, I want to study something from MACFAST or any other institution. Which institution I have to select? I have so many options are there, so many alternatives are there. Even though due to this pandemic situation, the entry is or the mobility is restricted, say the opportunities are wide open. In which institutions I have to study? I would select only those institutions which will satisfy my requirements. So, when a student is getting an admission in a college, the student should have certain expectations. What the students expect from an organization. That expectation may not be number 1, 2, 3 or etc. It cannot be numbered as 1, 2, 3 or something like that. There also the sky is the limit. But it should not be unrealistic. Unrealistic expectation, then no way out. But realistic expectations may be there. What a student expects from an institution. A clear-cut expectations may be there. Similarly, when a student is admitting in the college, as a teacher, what I should expect from the students? So the student is expecting something from the college. The college is expecting something from the student also. So both these expectations, there should be a synchronization process. So that synchronization process may be developed as a statement, and that may be presented also by framing our general guidelines or framing that particular academic calendar or exhibiting our rules and regulations or then framing our value system, establishing the core values, etc. Both the expectations of the students and the expectations of the institution. So there should be a matching. So for getting this particular matching, a student chapter may be developed by the IQs. We can do that also. Because at the time of admission, from the students, we can get the inspection. What is your expectations? The tutorial system operating there, what the student is expecting from the college, so we can have it. So similarly, what the institution is expecting from the students. So both these then expectations should come together. Then, so that may also be developed there. And again, I'm coming to the last part of this, the time I know, I'm well aware of this one. And I hope that I'm not at all then giving more emphasis on criteria 3 onwards, 3 to 7, because I'm focusing mainly from the part of the students. Then, say the students and both the faculty members, management, every system is joining together. So it is a good institution, a value-based organization. See, the we have provided all the QNM, that is the quantitative data to the student, to the NAC, that is 70%, through the NAC portal. At the time of the DVV process, that is data validation and verification process, the questionnaires have been administered by the NAC. The students, with the support of the faculty members or the encouragement of the faculty members, at the after time, they have submitted their responses also. Say, fortunately, as I know, that 25%, that percentage of that pre-qualifier score, that is very easy for an institution like MACFAST. So we will be succeeded in that score. The peer team will visit the college. By visiting the peer team visits, definitely the presentations of the protocol will be there, including the students, principal, management, head of department, everything will be there. So they are actually experiencing what is actually happening in the college. So with the quantitative data we have already provided, the system generated quantitative metrics is there in the file of the peer team members. They are coming in their file. The first folder may be the system generated score based on the quantitative metrics. The score of the qualitative metrics, what should be? So that will be calculated from the experiences in the campus, through the validation, the physical experiences from the campus. That will be supported by the scores obtained on student satisfaction survey. See, so this is the time, the quantitative metrics, qualitative, that is the participation of the unders, then the under team. We are providing in the first stage by providing the quantitative metrics. The students, the major role they are playing by giving the students, responding to the student satisfaction survey, giving the appropriate scores or rating. The qualitative data, they are really experiencing the college. So a combination of these three, that is SGS, system generated score from quantitative metrics, qualitative metrics from the physical experience, plus the scores, that is an enlightened score that I will see because it is from the students. The score obtained from the student satisfaction survey. So it is the time they are expected to give which rank the MACFAST should give. So let always pray, and I always see that all the heads, the principal, the management team, the faculty members, the entire student community, and all the stakeholders, including myself. So let the MACFAST get the golden letter grade presently available from 21st January onwards, that is A++. Thank you.
Very good.
Any questions, please?
Thank you, dear sir. Dear faculty, if you have any questions, you can ask it right now. Any questions from the participant side?
Marisa,
Yes.
you have made a very valuable expression of these points. Thank you very much. But I have a question. When the NAC team come into the college for validating the qualitative metrics, will they have the points which we already had from all these years as assessed from the AQAR valuations? And they are going to validate that mark also. Can they have any right to change those marks which we have already have? I think they have little freedom to change the qualitative marks which we have already gained. But still, the validation of the quantitative metrics can also be done through this process of qualitative assessment. Can you elaborate on that point?
Yes, very sir. Say no, that the AQAR is very important as far as a college which is already accredited. Because say the accreditation tells you what? After, that is, we are using the term post-accreditation. Any mistake committed by an unaccredited college cannot be assessed in the same parameters using an accredited college. But in the context of the flexibility, say there may be certain human error may be there. In that particular data statements, that is where what we have done will be there. Certain errors might have been there. The factual errors, if any, that factual errors can be corrected by giving the appropriate documents. Okay, is it clear, sir?
Yes,
The
yes,
fact,
thank you.
factual errors, because I have got 25% for financial accounting. I have the certificate with me, but by mistake, I have given it as 35. Okay. So likewise, by the appropriate data documents, we can get it. But keep in mind that whatever the informations we have submitted through AQR 1, 2, 3 plus 4, it will have an impact in deciding that metrics at the time of their visitors.
Sir, I have one more question. We have a right to opt out from certain areas. We have to think about which are the areas from the MACFAST point of view we should opt out. Shall we?
Then, yes, definitely. Then I have prepared that slide also, but I have not given much explanation. Why? Because first one is regarding the time constraints. So second one is definitely you see. Say we have to see that I can rewind that particular slide, then we'll see, make it more clear. Yes. Okay, sir. So this is the slide I have given you. Then opting out. So here we mean, then we have 7 criteria. Then no compromise. Certain metrics or then key indicators we can opt out. Which one we can opt out? This is not applicable for a particular institution. As I already mentioned, regarding an answer to the questions of UG programs. So we cannot give the answer. We cannot give the answer. Yeah, we cannot give the, because UG programs are not there. Even in PG also. So in the combination of MACFAST, AICT regulated courses are there. So that is MBA and MCA. But the School of Biosciences, NAC regulated courses are there. In the special context of MACFAST, we cannot opt out something which is applicable under this particular AICT criteria from the MBA data from the MBA as well as MCA. Okay, this may be a peculiarity of MACFAST. So we have to, okay, so we have to consider the regulations of both. But one thing, see, there may be some, whatever be the question, I will say, it is not applicable to me. It is not applicable to me. We cannot opt out everything. And that is where the limitation, the maximum we can opt out is limited to 30. The maximum weight is 30. That is only 3% of the total weightage can be opted it out. Which one we have to opt it out? But sir, we have to put our heads together. Why? Because at the first instance, we feel that the seven then the seven indicators are there. We can opt it out. But we have to see which one we have to opt it out. We have to opt it out only those indicator which is affecting our weightage at the least. We have to get the maximum weightage. And insisted on that, only 3% can be opted out. Again, criteria wise also there. The criteria wise, criteria 1, 2, and 7. Criteria number 1, curricular aspects. MACFAST in this college, no college can say that this I will opt it out because the syllabus will be there everywhere else. All the indicators we have to take note of. We cannot opt it out. The second one is teaching learning process. The methodology of teaching learning process should always be there. No institution can escape from opting it out. This particular criteria will be there. But so the NAC manual say it is clearly indicated that then criteria 1, 2, and 7 say that cannot be selected for opting it out. 7 we know. A change is there in the title of the 7th criteria. Already the 7th criteria was connected with the innovations and best practices. But that term innovations, so this is clubbed with the 3rd criteria.
Yeah.
But instead that innovation, the 7th criteria is used as institutional values and best practices. So every institution should have certain institutional values. MACFAST has got well-established institutional values. So therefore, criteria 1, 2, and 7, we cannot escape by using that opting it out mechanism. But up to 3%, we can opt it out. Or then we have to. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Any other queries from the participant side?
Gina,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
we have almost time. We may conclude.
Okay, we can wind it up then right now. Okay, thank you, sir, for the wonderful presentation. Now I invite Ajay Kurian for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Gina. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So I guess you might have understood that maintaining quality of an institution is not easy. Both faculty members and students are equally responsible for maintaining quality standards of an institution. And that's why we have organized this webinar for the whole MACFAST family. It is time to convey heartfelt thanks to each and everyone. The president of the meeting, our beloved principal, Father Dr. Cherian J. Kotail, the administrator, Professor Varghese Abraham, our expert presenter and NAC coordinator of MACFAST, Professor K.R. Sukumar Nair, sir, respected HODs, dear faculty members and dear students, and all well-wishers of MACFAST. Now, it is an honor and privilege for me to propose vote of thanks to the eminent persons who have been part of this webinar. I sincerely extend my gratitude to the backbone of our institution, Father Dr. Cherian J. Kotail, for his wonderful leadership and for challenging each and everyone, since he strongly believed that if you don't challenge yourself, you'll never realize what you can become. Thank you, Father, for guiding us, and thank you for all the support you have given. It's my honor to convey thanks to the eminent resource person, K.R. Sukumar Nair, sir, for the effective presentation. Apart from his busy schedule, he'll always find time for MACFAST. On behalf of the whole MACFAST family, I thank Sukumar Nair, sir, for being part of this webinar. Thank you, sir. Our administrator, Professor Varghese Abraham, who is working constantly behind the accreditation processes, is a great support and advisor whom we can approach at any time. Thank you, dear sir, for all the support and guidance. I would like to thank Mr. Thomas Matthew, the head of IT department, for providing all the technical support. And without him, it wouldn't be possible. Thank you, Thomas, sir. And I would like to thank one more person who's been supporting me in coordinating this webinar. Her efforts and timely support was something I could never forget, and that is none other than Ms. Gina Saraviju, Assistant Professor MCA. Thank you, Gina, for all your support. Thank you. Last but not the least, let me thank all HODs, faculty members, and students for finding time to attend this webinar. Let's join our hands and work together to meet the quality standard. Thank you all.
Thank you,
thank you.
Ajay. Thank you, Ajay, for organizing the webinar. Dear participants, we have shared the feedback link. Make sure you are filling it up. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. ഞങ്ങള്
Okay.
പിന്നെ
You're doing it beautifully.
ഞങ്ങളൊരു കോർഡിനേറ്ററിന്റെ കൂടി ഉണ്ട് കേട്ടോ ടീച്ചറെ. ഒരു സെക്കൻഡ് ടീച്ചർ.
Please go.
യെസ് പിന്നെ വർഗീസ് സാർ. So she is Professor Smita G. Kurup, the IQAC coordinator. Okay.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for joining with us.
Okay.
Thank you for joining with us.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Arun, for the technical support. Okay.
Thank you.